Well, hello again, everyone. I am Tricia at Club Scrap, and if you're new here, we are a club that is almost 27 years old, and every month we ship a kit to our members. And today's live is all about what we'll be shipping to our members in the month of March. I don't even know what month we're in. That's how it feels sometimes around here. I think I did a count. It's our 371st, I think that was the number, monthly kit. Kind of crazy. So every month for over 350 months, we've been creating a collection, having it printed and manufactured, and then sending it to our members worldwide. So if you are not a member and want to check it out, you can always do that. Club Scrap was a monthly kit club long before it was really fashionable to do monthly kits, and we're good at what we do. We love what we do, and we have great ways to use to help you use whatever we send your way. So if you're a card maker or a scrapbooker, we have wonderful options for you. So as I said, this is our spoiler video for our members to see what's coming, because a lot of times they like to see what's in their box. Back in the day, we didn't disclose anything about the kit. We gave you the name of the theme, but now we are just spilling all the beans. So if you want to be surprised about what comes in your box, you might want to find something else to watch. Okay, and also just to let you know, we are based in Neenah, Wisconsin, and a lot of our stuff it's manufactured right here in the United States, and we are just very proud to have this long tradition of these beautiful kits. Okay, so I'm going to start it with the Cabana page kit, then the card kit, and I'll show you the stamps, and then also other news from the warehouse during our time together. So without further ado, let me just check to make sure we have people here. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you your first look at the Cabana collection. It is so lovely. And what I love about the prints, for starters, is just how neutral they are. And these are, of course, you might know some of my favorite colors. We got 3 shades of this pretty teal blue, and then we also have a nice sunny yellow, and then just neutral patterns. I think that's kind of my trend now, is just going with a nice neutral pattern for our prints. So they're super versatile no matter what you've got going on in your life. So these prints are also sold separately. If you like them and you want to stock up on a few extras, think about doing that. So we're calling this creatively, this is called the blue print, and this is called the yellow print. So you'll find these both listed individually on our website. And then to coordinate with the prints, we have our nice palette here of Tricia's top 3 favorite colors. We've got 3 shades of blue. So a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue. And we really debated, as usual, what to call these blues, because they kind of have more of a teal flair to them, but that's what we went with: light, medium, and dark. And then we've got our nice, perfect sunny yellow. I love the neutrality of that shade as well, and it really belongs in this kit. And if you saw our splash kit that I released last week, this is like the polar opposite of it. It still kind of has that same, hey, let's go hang out and relax mood, but a completely different art style and color palette. Then we have our lovely cut aparts, and these are so nice. What I liked too is in combining with those elegant, they reminded me of the tile you'd find in a swimming pool, for example. We have just incorporated some cool images, like these really beautiful flip-flops. We have some nice palapas, a cute little beach hat, sunglasses, a little liquid beverage, an umbrella, just palm trees, just some really nice images woven into the set that just blend so well together. So the cut aparts, once you separate all these images, you have what you need to complete your layouts. You're going to have a reminder to do some journaling. You'll have all of your titles and border strips, things to anchor things down. And that's one of the things I love about our cut aparts. Ribbon. Oh my goodness. We have this really beautiful, let's see, 2 yards of an inch wide organza, and this is in that light blue color. Then we have 1 yard of the grosgrain in the yellow, and then 1 yard of this really soft cottony ribbon. I never really know what to call this ribbon, but it's not a satin. It's a soft cotton sort of a feel, and I think this is like a 5/8, maybe a 3/8 inch size. Oh, I will also mention that you do receive a dozen photo mats. So if you're new here and you're like, what are those? These are trimmed to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, because our photos tend to be 4 by 6 from the developer printer, whatever, and they'll plop right on here nicely. And that also helps extend the life of your 12 by 12 papers that come in the box. Other goodies here, we've got a set of 5 of these really cool wood tiles. And I painted mine white in my finished pages. I'll show you the difference, but either way, they're very elegant and pretty, plenty to go around. And then we also have a set of 5 of these iridescent, like an AB shell-shaped gem. Those are flat backs. You can add them to your layouts very easily. And then we have a really fun and flashy goodie for you. Check out these fun leaves. So it's kind of like a mylar, and there are 2 here. So what I didn't realize when I had my sample is that I had 2 of them. You have to peel them apart, okay? As you can imagine, everyone in our warehouse loved packaging this goodie for you, but I actually ended up putting mine in the trimmer and cutting it into smaller pieces. I had a lot of fun with these, and just such a unique goodie. So that is basically what comes in the box. And still, one of the things I'm most proud of that we do for you here at Club Scrap is that we tell you exactly how you can turn all of this into pages without any wasted material at all. There is a little scrap right there. It's about 3/4 by 4 inches. And let's see, there's also 3 other really tiny little scraps, 4 scraps to make 8 layouts out of all of this. Not bad, right? You'd have to agree about that. So this document of instructions can be printed at any time. And then there's a QR code and a clickable link inside the instructions that take you to the workshop video. So if you're like me and you don't like reading instructions, that won't even be necessary. I'll just do it with you over the video. And I quick want to mention something. I had a comment on one of my videos on YouTube, and thank you, by the way, for leaving comments. I love that. But the comment said, "You talk really fast, just so you know." And I knew, and I had a hard time keeping up, and I had to press pause a lot. And I so appreciated her making that comment because A, she tried it and did it. I love that. And B, she just let me know that I was really talking too fast. So here is something, if you don't already know this, I've mentioned it a lot of times in my videos, but perhaps not in that one, that in your YouTube channel, there's a little settings, a little gear button in the lower right corner, usually, of your playback screen. You click on that, and then it takes you to settings, and one of the options is playback speed. So you can completely slow me down, put me at 1.75 or anywhere in between, just to match your skill level. And if you're brand new, like really slow me down. That way you'll have a better chance of keeping up, and you won't have to press pause as much. And then once you get the hang of it and become more and more experienced in following along with the videos, the 1.0 speed will probably be fine. And if you get really proficient, you can put me at 1.25. Let me know how that goes. All right, so I'm going to take you back to check out the finished pages here. And here they are in all their beauty. And you can see right away, I have that leaf. I just took a whole entire one of those gold leaves and put it right in the background and slapped 2 angled photo mats on top of it. And I love how that turned out. Okay, I'm just checking some comments here. I use my iPad and then the YouTube video will play on top of my instructions in the corner. So I have the best of both worlds. I love that, Patty. Awesome tip. Okay, anyway, I want to mention too that when you're adding those little gems, you can do so with our bookbinding glue. It works like a charm. And then the ribbon is in use here. And then I also took that yellow ribbon. This is not paper, it's the ribbon stretched across. And then I just did a corner wrap on that nice big cut apart. What I want to mention about the cut aparts, when they're big like that, they're nice because they kind of create a nice anchoring title, but photos are essential. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos, go ahead and put a photo in that spot, or anywhere really where there's not a mat. You can add photos anywhere. Just want to remind you of that. Here, I took that giant leaf and I just cut it in half and cut a little bit off the bottom so I could add it to the corner. Photo could still go over here if you like. And then these are the tiles. So they are painted white, just with like acrylic, a cheap apple barrel acrylic paint and a foam brush took care of that. Let them dry and then added them to the 5 little square papers that I made to mat them. I love this. Memories made at the beach last a lifetime. However, if you're not at the beach and you don't want to use that cut apart, that's fine. You could just cover that with a photo as well. I like to have my pages completely done and then adapt from there rather than trying to see the future. And then I love this sentiment on this cut apart. JOMO, joy of missing out. Sometimes we just enjoy the fact that we're missing out on everything happening in our reality. Here we have the organza. I just made a really pretty bow, just a standard bow with that. And then here in this case, I threaded the ribbon through the hole I created in the tag and then added a second piece. It's a trick I use all the time. And up here, there's another shell added. So again, all of those goodies are put to use. And then our final little section of our leaf is here, along with the two-part title, The World is Too Big to Stay in One Place. Very, very neutral. Here's a little sentiment, invest in rest. And I loved that one as well. So that is your page kit. But what I want to mention too is that if you are a member of Club Scrap, you do get a bonus page formula. And you're like, well, why would I need that? Because I have everything I need to make all my pages and I have nothing left over. Well, of course, that's true. But you may have a stash of paper at home that still needs to find a home. And these page formulas are like recipes that include the ingredients and the exact cooking instructions. So in other words, I will tell you exactly how to trim 4 sheets of paper to create this layout exactly as you see it. And I always like to take the layout for a spin, and I did that and created this fun layout. So this is pretty much exactly as is prescribed. It's actually this way. Exactly as prescribed in the recipe or in the page formula. What I added were some additional cut aparts, and that is why we carry those cut aparts separately. So if you want to make more pages, like if you went on a huge trip and you want to make tons and tons of layouts, you can follow the prescribed ones and then just create more with additional coordinating papers. So I added the journaling prompt and I added the titles, and that's really a fun page. So beautiful. Okay, that is your page kit. And if you are a member and you want to make adjustments to what you're receiving, you want to make sure you get the page kit or you get extra paper pack or things like that, you can certainly do that. And now I'm going to show you what comes in the card kit and the card kit print. I'll just mention now again that the card kit also includes a completely different set of printable instructions and a completely different tutorial. It's a video workshop, and you'll really learn a lot if you take those video workshops. Plus the instructions include the images of the finished cards, both inside and out, and a little bit of an explanation. I admire those of you who make the cards without even looking at the video, because it's just a very brief summary of the assembly process, and I go into much more detail in the video. Okay, so your kit includes a dozen envelopes because we'll be making a dozen cards. It includes, as you know, my weakness, a sheet of beautiful Dazzles stickers. These include some really nice shell images, a little wave border. You'll see those in use on my finished cards. We have the ribbon, of course, and Craig selected a yellow double-faced satin, 2 yards of natural jute, probably one of my favorites to work with. And then we have a taffeta edge granulated ribbon in that dusty blue color, or teal, or whatever you want to call it. We also included 4 cute little white tags that had the little reinforcements on them. And I'll pick these up. I just slide them across the table here. These are really nice, jewelry grade gold palm leaf charms. They're just so elegant and pretty. So those are all used. And then finally the paper. We have the 2 card prints, and I do help pull orders occasionally after I go live. And I do find that a lot of you are grabbing the text weight. It is nice to have this if you want to do some folding, some origami, things like that. And I love this pattern as well. And we usually choose like a more dainty, smaller pattern for the card kit print. And then of course to complement that, you've got your 2 each of the dark blue, medium blue, light blue. You'll have the bright sunny yellow, and then 1 sheet of the white. And then it includes the mapped out cut aparts. And I did something different this time. So I get a lot of requests for different greetings and sentiments. Like, I have too many thank you cards. I have too many birthday cards. I don't have enough of this. I need more of that. I need more sympathy. So I just kind of picked a whole assortment of different sentiments, and I added them in a big strip to your cut aparts. So there are elements that have just art, and then this whole other strip of sentiments. So you can keep the artwork, you can skip an inner sentiment if you want to write your own or stamp your own onto the piece of art. And then I also have just tons of different options and sentiment pairings that you can use. Okay, so that was just an effort. It's an experiment. I did not do it again in April because I've already planned out the April cards. I just wanted to throw this out there and see how you like it. So let me know what you think. Okay, so here is the sheet again. So there's your art. Here are your sentiments. I did put sentiments on 8 of the 12 cards on the outside that are just positive but neutral in nature. So hip hip hooray, today is your day. That could be a graduation. That could be an anniversary, a birthday, anything. Then life is good. So you do have, then also we have you are all kinds of amazing and may sunshine and happiness fill your day. Really kept it broad. And then I've got you are the flip to my flop. Get well soon. Happy everything. Happy birthday. Happy retirement. Thinking of you. Congrats. Like I just really tried to cover all the bases. So that is the card kit. And I'm going to show you now the cards that we can make if you follow along. Of course, you don't have to. The first 4 are a nice single folded card. And again, the sentiments that are showcased here are mentioned in the instructions, but you use what you want. And you can see how cool the dazzles look on that card. I chose an anniversary because I send a lot of anniversary cards. This is a retirement, rest, relax, repeat. And then here is a lovely sympathy card. It's so pretty, thinking of you on the inside. And another sympathy that I chose that says, so very sorry on the inside. Again, you are the architect of your card sentiments this month. Then this is probably a new favorite. I saw this done online, but I thought, I think I could do it a little differently and have it be more efficient. And of course, that's always my goal. So this is like a standing box card where it mails flat. And then when you open it up like this, it makes that box and it stands on its own. And then what I thought was neat about this structure is that there's a hidden second sentiment. And that's where I added the white paper so you could make your inner sentiment pieces. So, and I like too that the greeting is attached to this side of the square so that when it's on display, it pops up. And then you can see I use the charm right here on top of the ribbon to kind of finish it off. Love those. So again, 4, I love you, friend. May happiness and sunshine fill your day. This is happy birthday. So you be the judge of how you want to use the sentiments, or you can follow my template. Totally your call. And then finally, the foolproof slimline card. I like this because it's all been planned out for me. I've got 2 by 2 inch squares, 2 1/4 inch mats, a nice little anchoring strip, the print on every card. And then I did 2 vertical and 2 horizontal. You can mess with that as much as you like. And then on the inside, you can see I use the dazzle, a sticker here to create those little waves. I used some scraps. There were more scraps than usual, but they're all pretty small. And the one larger scrap I ended up incorporating right into the middle of this card. Isn't that sweet? You are the flip to my flop. Okay, moving on. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Let's see. I gotta look at what everyone's saying. Too many water beach. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. That we do have a lot of water beach. And I'll tell you, those are our most popular kits, our biggest and best sellers. So that tends to be why we do that. So yes, I did Splash as a special release, but of course you don't have to buy any of those special releases. And that would whittle us down to kind of one water theme so far this year. We've got our stamps. These are fun. I always store mine in this hubless DVD case. And then Karen creates an index sheet so that the images kind of go on one side and the sentiments on the other. It makes it really easy to shop your stamps if they're like all neatly on a shelf. And this time I had the opportunity to play and make some cards for you, and I'm going to show you what I did. So here we have the Palapa, and I just grabbed basically 3 ink pads for my entire session. I did Ocean, and I chose Yellow and India Black, my 3 favorites. Like, this is my favorite color, so there you go. And I featured the print in the background here. And then when I was making this card, I accidentally stamped the sentiment crooked, so I stamped it again on white, matted it, and covered it. So there's my little trick for you there. This was fun with the hat. I just chose to stamp on 2 separate colors, and then I added it to the card with a pop dot. Hats off to you. Future is bright. I did have this, picked up this die cut because I felt it was something I couldn't recreate on my own with a clever cutting formula, and I thought I'd put it to use. So I cut it in white, dark blue, and light blue, and yellow, and then I took some of our sticky paper roll and I just reassembled different pieces, and then I fussy cut the sunglasses. Thought that was kind of fun. Kept it simple here, so happy to celebrate you. Probably one of my favorite images on the entire sheet. And I just love, look at how the detail of those halftones. I mean, stamps are hard to create those kinds of tones, but Jacqueline did such a nice job. I love the crisp sunglasses. Here, I just featured the print and then the Life is Good sentiment with some of that jute that came in the card kit. Love how that turned out. Again, the detail here on the flip-flop images, I stamped that in the India black ink and fussy cut them and popped them here, and then just repeated a row of that with the help of an acrylic block with lines on it, and then some grid paper. Got out my circle dies. Once again, look at that gorgeous flip-flop image with the sentiment, "You are the flip to my flop." I love the font pairing this month as well. And then finally, this image. Now this is one image on the sheet, is this guy. And then I stamped him with the point of the image in the center 8 times around to create this really cool background in the yellow ink. And then this, of course, in the foreground. I used the flip-flops again on the inside with rest, relax, repeat. Love those. And then I took my scraps. I used the sticky paper roll and I made myself a little starter card background so I can use this for something else. So when you do make the cards, you will have some fun little strips, and that's what I use to make mine. I think Karen and Julie have done a couple of blog features on that. And then my companion for my card making session, so some of these have already been used, is the POPs. So if you're unfamiliar with those, it stands for pack of panels. It's a ½ pound of paper featuring the colors in the collection. You can even see the addition of the white in here. So this really helps extend your full-size sheets of paper as well. So you can subscribe to this option, and we'll automatically add it to your kit, so you can always have an assortment of plenty of paper for card making, die cutting, that sort of thing. Oh, okay. One last quick reminder now of that other water themed kit that we released this month, because we know that a lot of you really do love the water themed kits, because that's like when I travel, that's kind of what we do, and those are a lot of the pictures that I take. This was Splash, and I finished all the pages with photos. Now, when I did my live release, I actually finished this page live to show you how I finished my pages, and a lot of you found that really helpful. And right after the live, I was on a roll, so I just went ahead and finished all of these pages from a recent trip that my husband and I and our grandson took to the Dominican Republic, to La Romana. And again, I had these done in, I don't know, 30 minutes, and I think they turned out so nice. This kit has a lot of fun little goodies in it. So if you've been or are planning on any kind of a tropical Hawaii, any kind of trip or a cruise, grab your Splash page kit. As always, it comes with the instructions. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is how I adapted the page kit into cards. And I'm going to grab my samples here. Let me get this out of the way. So I took the formula from the stained glass card kit, took those instructions, and I followed all the trimming with the Splash papers. One blue, one teal, one green, one pink, or lime pink. So teal, blue, lime, pink. I cut the paper just as prescribed in steps 1 and 2. I cut the prints as described in step 3 and 4. And I cut the cut-aparts in white. So then I took my stamps from Beachcomber. These were really fun. And that's what I stamped on the cards. If you need me, call me on my shell. By the way, there are just a few sheets of these stamps left. And then I just kind of started producing, right? So those are the set C cards. I thought they turned out so good. And then set B was this really cute, it's time to celebrate. Blossom. And I love a little tent card, and it's got the fun little seal on there. I also adapted some of the cut-aparts for this one. Sweet. And then finally set A is just a simple single fold card that opens like this. And may you be happier than a bird with a French fry. And the inside it says happy birthday. So those are the adapted cards that I made with the splash page kit, just to kind of show you that you can always make cards with any page kit. Whew. I have one more important thing to share with you, and I have this really bright sticky note, and I had it last time too, but I completely forgot to share it. So here's the thing, members, listen up. By the way, if you aren't a member, think about it. We'd love to welcome you to the member family of Club Scrap. But with our new website situation, if you go into your member profile, and then I think you click details, and then you can go ahead and add to your subscription. You could add like the stamps if you wanted to give those a go, those Cabana stamps, those really cool flip-flops. Or if you wanted to add a card kit or switch things up, you can do that in your member profile. But the other thing you're able to do is inside your member profile, you're able to do a one-time only order of something that we select. So we have selected the splash kit is something that you can add to your subscription as a one-time order. So if that makes sense to you and you want to give it a go and just add that splash kit, it will not incur any kind of an extra handling charge. And the reason for that is on shipping day, we will have the splash kit sitting right there and we'll just grab it and add it to your kit. So it just makes everything a little bit more time effective for us, which is why the fee is waived, and you can just grab that splash kit and add it to your box that's already leaving the warehouse if you wish. Okay, let me just quick grab my computer here. And yes, I do love that little happier than a bird with a French fry stamp. Okay, I think we are in good shape. I want to thank my team, my whole entire team. You know how much I love you and appreciate you. And my members and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you get a chance to leave a comment and like the video, that also helps. If you see a little button that says hype the video, because YouTube allows that on smaller channels to help them grow a little bit more quickly. And I'd love to see that happen with Club Scrap, because I still have people that say, I've never heard of you. I just found you on YouTube. So we want to keep spreading that love. And once again, thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, because we'll have more fun things to announce. So I look forward to seeing you next time.